So you've done it. You've made the leap to a high-performance ENB wing. You're feeling that extra bit of speed, that incredible glide. But here's the real question. Are you truly unlocking its cross-country potential? Because making this wing really sing, well, that's about more than just holding on. It's about a completely new mindset. First things first, we have to totally rewire our brains. On your old low B, hitting the speed bar probably felt like you were just falling out of the sky faster, right? Speed killed your glide. Well, on a high B, that entire equation gets flipped on its head. Speed is glide. Using your accelerator is no longer a last resort, it's your #1 tool for flying efficiently. And why is that? It's because moving up to a high B isn't just about getting a wing that goes faster. Think of it more like you've graduated from a general-purpose, all-around tool to a highly specialized instrument, one that was engineered from the ground up for one thing: cross-country efficiency. See, these wings are designed for pilots with a destination. They're built to push through headwinds, to get through sync, not just to float around a thermal. They have a higher aspect ratio, they're longer and skinnier, which gives them that amazing efficiency. But it also means they talk to you a lot more, and they need a lighter, more active touch to fly them well.
So, how does all that design theory actually translate into real-world performance? Well, let's take a look at the numbers because they tell a really compelling story. First off, check out that top speed. Hitting over 50 kilometers per hour, that puts you way closer to the performance of higher category ENC wings. This is your secret weapon for punching through those strong valley winds and making tricky transitions. And the amazing part is, that speed doesn't come at a massive cost. With a peak glide ratio of over 10-to-1, that means it can fly 10 meters forward for every 1 meter it goes down. The wing is just incredibly efficient at turning your altitude into distance. This is the heart of its cross-country DNA. But don't think it's just a speed machine. It can totally be a floater when you need it to be. A minimum sink rate around 1 meter per second. That's fantastic. That's your ticket for climbing out in those weak, scratchy thermals at the start of the day. So all this brings us to this absolutely crucial idea, the efficiency zone. A high B isn't just fast, it's efficient while it's fast. This is the speed range, usually somewhere between 50 and 70% on your speed bar, where the wing is designed to live. You can fly fast without totally cratering your glide angle. And here's where it really clicks. Take a look at this comparison. A low B hits a performance wall pretty darn quick. Push the bar too far, and you're just going down. But look at the high B. You have so much more usable speed on tap. This right here is the performance you paid for, and it's where you should be spending most of your time on a glide. Okay, so we've got all this potential under the hood. How do we actually fly the thing to use it? Well, it really comes down to mastering two very distinct modes of flying for cross-country. Think of it this way. You have a save mode and you have a glide mode. Your goal, your tools, your whole technique, they're completely different for each one. When you're in lift, your entire focus is on maximizing that climb. The second you're out of it, you flip a switch and go into glide mode, maximizing your speed. So for the save mode, we're talking about a really light touch. Just enough brake to keep you in that minimum sync sweet spot. We're talking hands around ear level, maybe a little more. These wings tend to pitch forward into lift, so let the wing guide you to the core. But be careful here. Because of that higher aspect ratio, they can spin more easily than a low B if you get too heavy-handed on the brakes. And now, the glide mode. This is the real game changer. Your default setting between thermals should be 50 to 60% speed bar. And here's the key, the part that's going to feel weird at first. Get your hands off the brakes. You're going to manage the wing's pitch and make small direction changes using the C-riser toggles. This lets you control the wing without yanking on the trailing edge, which keeps the profile so much cleaner and more efficient. Yep, it's more work, but it is the secret to unlocking that incredible average speed. Once you apply these new techniques, it completely changes your strategic options in the air. You're not just a passenger anymore. You are actively piloting your way through different air masses. Let me give you a really concrete example. Let's call it the 30 kilometer per hour rule. Imagine you're flying into a 25 kilometer per hour headwind. A pilot on a low B is pretty much parked. They're going nowhere. But you, on your high B, you can hit full bar and still be making 22 kilometers per hour of forward progress. Your entire flyable window just got way bigger. So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? You've got all this speed on tap, but what's the right amount of bar to use in any given situation? Well, this table pretty much lays it out for you. In calm air, a little bit of bar, maybe 25%, often gives you your best glide. Got a tailwind? Just fly hands up. You're already moving fast, so stay high and efficient. But into a headwind or flying through strong sink, that's when you really get on the bar. You're not just trying to go faster, you're actively preserving your glide angle so you arrive higher on the other side. After all the numbers and techniques, the real secret to flying a high B, fast and efficiently, it isn't actually in the wing. It's in your head. This is the core idea right here. Your old instinct was to kill every little movement with the brakes, right? The new way is to manage that energy. You learn to use your speed bar and your sea risers to catch the wing's pitches, to absorb the bumps, and to keep the wing flying forward efficiently. That wing is going to move more, it's going to talk to you more. The biggest change you'll notice is that constant feedback. Your job is no longer to silence it with the brakes. Your job is to listen to it and manage the wing's energy. Don't kill its performance. Work with it. Which leaves us with one final thought. Making this leap is really about a fundamental change in your flying philosophy. It's about trusting the glider and your new skills. So the real question is, are you ready to fly the entire wing and not just the brakes?